There comes a moment in life when ordinary days suddenly feel charged with significance, as if the air itself carries a message meant only for you. You begin to notice patterns that once went unnoticed, subtle nudges that guide your steps, and coincidences that no longer seem accidental. Every encounter, every conversation, every choice appears to carry weight beyond what the eyes can see. It is as if your life is no longer a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated path leading to a threshold you have long been destined to approach. In this space, the familiar becomes extraordinary, and even mundane routines start to hum with purpose. You may feel a restless energy inside, a quiet insistence that something monumental is approaching. It is not fear, nor mere excitement. It is a recognition that your life has been moving toward this moment from the very beginning. There is a subtle, undeniable pull that draws you forward, urging you to pay attention, to prepare, and to awaken to a calling you cannot yet fully name. Every instinct, every whisper of intuition seems to insist that you are on the verge of a meeting that will alter everything you have known. During this time, ordinary responsibilities and distractions begin to fade into the background. You start to sense the futility of chasing things that once seemed important, replaced by a growing awareness of something far greater awaiting you. It is a period of quiet but intense anticipation, where even silence feels filled with meaning. The world around you begins to align in ways that defy logic. People appear at the right time, opportunities arise that feel predestined, and moments of clarity illuminate your path. There is no need for elaborate explanations or proof. The experience carries its own certainty. You feel drawn to reflect on your journey, understanding that every trial, every joy, every setback has been part of preparing you for this encounter. It is an awakening to the idea that your existence is not a random series of events, but a deliberate unfolding, with each step bringing you closer to a profound revelation. In this state, your senses are heightened and your awareness deepens. Life no longer feels ordinary, and even the smallest details seem to vibrate with significance, signaling that you are on the verge of discovering something transcendent. Amid this awakening, there is also a quiet urgency, a knowing that the time to recognize and embrace your calling is near. It is not pressure in the usual sense, but an internal prompting that encourages readiness, openness, and attentiveness. You begin to understand that this is a unique threshold, an invitation to step into a presence so powerful that it reshapes understanding, priorities, and purpose. There is a mixture of anticipation and humility, as you realize that what lies ahead is far beyond what you could have achieved alone. Life itself seems to pause, holding its breath as if acknowledging the significance of this moment. In this space, the unexplainable calling becomes a guiding force, a steady current beneath the surface of daily life, pulling you toward the extraordinary. And though the path may feel uncertain at times, the certainty of this calling is unmistakable. It is a quiet, persistent knowledge that you are chosen for something profound, that nothing in your journey has been wasted, and that the encounter you approach will mark the beginning of a transformation that is both inevitable and eternal. In this stage of life, a subtle yet profound shift begins to unfold within. You start to notice that the world no longer moves past you unnoticed. Every sound, every glance, every interaction carries weight and significance. Your senses seem sharpened, attuned to subtleties that were once invisible. There is a newfound clarity in the way you observe people, nature, and events around you. Ordinary moments, such as a shared smile, a fleeting conversation, or the pattern of sunlight through trees, take on a vibrancy that feels intentional. It is as though life itself is communicating in whispers, leaving traces for you to follow. This heightened awareness is not merely observation, it is a deep recognition that every detail, no matter how small, is a thread in a vast tapestry. You feel a growing responsibility to respond consciously, to act with thought and integrity, and to honor the significance of the moments that unfold before you. There is a sense that the world is not simply happening around you, but that you are intricately connected to it. That your presence matters, and that the choices you make ripple outward in ways beyond comprehension. As this awareness deepens, you begin to notice patterns that previously went unnoticed. People enter your life in perfect timing, opportunities appear when you are ready, and circumstances align in ways that defy coincidence. It feels as if life itself is providing guidance, offering lessons, and preparing you for a journey that is larger than yourself. Your mind becomes more alert, discerning between what is fleeting and what is meaningful. You start to understand the value of presence, of truly seeing and listening to the world around you. Every encounter becomes a mirror, reflecting aspects of your own heart and soul, urging you to pay attention to the choices you have made and the person you are becoming. In these moments, the ordinary transforms into extraordinary insight. The simple act of walking down a familiar street, hearing a melody, or noticing the colors of the sky can feel like an intricate message, a nudge guiding you toward a greater understanding of your purpose and destiny. This heightened awareness also brings with it a profound responsibility. You begin to sense that every action, word, and intention carries weight beyond what you have previously imagined. There is a deep call to align yourself with truth, integrity, and wisdom. Distractions that once consumed your attention lose their appeal, replaced by a focus on clarity, understanding, and meaningful connection. Life begins to feel sacred, and your perception expands to embrace the interconnectedness of all things. This period is both humbling and empowering, for you realize that while the world is vast and complex, your awareness is a bridge between the seen and the unseen. It is a preparation, a sharpening of perception, that primes you for a transformative encounter. Through this heightened awareness, you start to grasp that the journey you are on is not random, that every moment has purpose, and that the awareness you cultivate now will guide you to the pivotal meeting that awaits, a meeting that promises to shift the very core of your being. There comes a period in life when the noise of the world fades and the mind turns inward with intensity. Thoughts that were once scattered begin to focus, and questions that lingered for years demand answers. It is a time of profound reflection, where past choices, missed opportunities, and forgotten dreams rise to the surface of consciousness. You feel compelled to examine the path you have walked, the patterns you have followed, and the intentions that have guided your decisions. In this space, there is no room for pretense or distraction. Honesty with oneself becomes unavoidable. The inner dialogue deepens, and clarity starts to emerge from the chaos. You begin to understand not only where you have been, but also who you truly are at your core. This reflection is not merely about correcting mistakes, it is about uncovering truths that have been hidden beneath routine and habit, about recognizing the lessons embedded in every experience, and about preparing the heart and mind for what is to come. As this inner clarity grows, the urge to release what no longer serves you becomes undeniable. Old fears, regrets, and doubts appear with stark clarity, demanding acknowledgement and resolution. You feel the need to let go of attachments, to forgive, to accept, and to reconcile with yourself and the journey that brought you here. This process can be uncomfortable, as it requires confronting the aspects of life that are most deeply hidden or avoided. Yet, it is necessary for the transformation that is approaching. The more you surrender these burdens, the lighter your heart feels, and the more aligned your mind becomes with the truth of your purpose. Every insight gained through this reflection becomes a stepping stone, preparing you to stand ready and open for the profound experience that awaits. There is a sense that this internal work is both sacred and urgent, that the clarity gained now will shape not only your perception but the way you receive what is to come. In this phase, the mind and heart operate in harmony, each thought and emotion a guide toward deeper understanding. You begin to recognize the interconnectedness of experiences, seeing patterns and meanings that were invisible before. Life, once fragmented into moments of confusion or distraction, now begins to reveal a cohesive narrative, one that points unmistakably toward the next stage of your journey. This clarity brings a quiet strength, a calm readiness that steadies the spirit even amid uncertainty. You sense that every moment of reflection, every realization, and every act of self-examination is preparation for a pivotal encounter, one that will shift perspective, deepen understanding, and transform existence in ways that words cannot fully capture. In this clarity, there is both peace and anticipation, a profound recognition that the journey inward is essential, that nothing has been wasted, and that the insights gained now are the foundation for what is about to unfold. In this stage of life, a quiet yet powerful realization begins to settle within. Achievements, accolades, and past successes no longer carry the weight they once did. There is a dawning awareness that the journey you have walked, while important, is part of something far larger than your individual efforts. Pride and ego, which once demanded attention, start to fade as humility rises. It is not a diminishment of self, but a recognition of one's place within a greater flow of existence. The mind and heart begin to see beyond personal gain, understanding that life's true purpose is measured not by what you accumulate, but by the alignment of your intentions with meaning, truth, and the unseen forces that guide destiny. This sense of humility does not weaken resolve. Instead, it strengthens character, grounding you in the understanding that the path ahead requires openness, receptivity, and the surrender of control over outcomes. The accomplishments and knowledge that once defined you are now tools to be used wisely, with awareness that there is a force far greater shaping the course of events, one that requires respect, patience, and readiness. As humility deepens, you begin to recognize the limitations of personal perspective. There is a newfound respect for the lives, struggles, and journeys of others. Comparisons and judgment lose their appeal, replaced by empathy, patience, and understanding. You realize that the world is vast, complex, and interconnected, and that no single individual can claim mastery over its unfolding. In this state, lessons are accepted with grace rather than resistance, and guidance is received without defensiveness. There is a shift from self-centered thinking toward a consciousness that values harmony, collaboration, and service. You begin to see that influence is not exercised through force or assertion, but through alignment with truth and wisdom, through quiet presence and consistency, and through the ability to listen, observe, and act with discernment. This humility fosters clarity, patience, and inner strength, qualities that are essential for what lies ahead. In this period, you are also acutely aware that preparation for what is to come cannot be rushed or forced. The journey requires acknowledgement that not everything is under your control, and that your role is to cultivate readiness, integrity, and awareness. Humility teaches acceptance of timing, patience with the unknown, and reverence for the unfolding process. It allows you to stand firm in your own truth without arrogance, to trust in the unseen currents that guide life, and to meet challenges with composure rather than resistance. There is a quiet power in understanding that significance is not about asserting dominance, but about being aligned, receptive, and conscious. The more humility grows, the more attuned you become to the subtle cues, the unseen guidance, and the intricate patterns that lead toward the extraordinary encounter approaching. In this humility, you discover a balance between strength and surrender, preparation and patience, readiness and receptivity, a balance that is essential for stepping into a moment that will forever alter your understanding of life, purpose, and self. There is a stage in life when patience transforms from a simple virtue into a profound inner strength. You come to understand that timing cannot be rushed, and that the most important experiences arrive only when preparation is complete. Challenges and obstacles, which once caused frustration or doubt, begin to feel like essential lessons designed to build endurance and resilience. You sense that every delay, every detour, and every moment of uncertainty serves a purpose, and that the unfolding of events is precise and deliberate. In this state, faith becomes unshakable, not as blind hope, but as a deep-rooted confidence that the path you are on is aligned with something far greater than your immediate understanding. You learn to wait without anxiety, to trust without proof, and to remain steady even when the outcomes are unclear. This kind of faith is quiet, yet powerful, anchoring the spirit while the currents of life shift and change, preparing you for the transformative encounter that lies ahead. Patience in this context is not passive. It is an active form of trust. It requires discernment, awareness, and the willingness to observe life with clarity, rather than forcing results prematurely. You begin to notice that the obstacles you encounter are not barriers, but guides, each one teaching lessons that will strengthen your mind, heart, and spirit. You start to see the value in restraint, in holding back, and in allowing events to unfold in their own rhythm. In this process, doubts lose their grip, fear diminishes, and the mind quiets, creating space for insight, intuition, and preparedness to grow. You realize that the journey itself, with its periods of waiting and testing, is a necessary part of the preparation. There is a growing understanding that patience and faith are intertwined. Faith fuels endurance, and patience cultivates clarity and resilience. During this phase, every challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen trust in the journey. The deeper you move into patience, the more you notice synchronicities, subtle guidance, and signs that confirm your path. You begin to sense that life's unfolding is precise and that everything is converging toward a pivotal moment. Waiting is no longer frustrating or burdensome. It becomes a practice of alignment, teaching you to remain centered, grounded, and aware while circumstances shift. Even when obstacles test your resolve, there is a quiet confidence that the waiting period is necessary and that perseverance will ultimately lead to the awakening and encounter you are approaching. This unshakable faith and practiced patience are not only tools for endurance, they are a preparation of the heart, mind, and spirit. They allow you to meet the extraordinary with readiness, serenity, and a deep understanding that the path, with all its trials, has been shaping you for something far greater than the challenges themselves. At this stage, emotions begin to rise in intensity, revealing depths within you that were previously unnoticed. Ordinary experiences, whether a gentle gesture, a word of encouragement, or a fleeting moment in nature, trigger feelings far stronger than expected. There is a new openness in the heart, a sensitivity that allows you to perceive the emotions of others with clarity and empathy. Joy feels more vibrant, sorrow more poignant, and gratitude more profound. This heightened emotional awareness is not a weakness, but a signal that your inner world is preparing to expand. You begin to recognize that feelings are guides, pointing toward deeper understanding, connection, and readiness for what lies ahead. Every reaction, every surge of emotion carries information about your state of being, revealing areas of growth, unresolved tension, or latent strength. You start to see life not as a series of events to endure, but as a dynamic interplay of feelings, insights, and experiences that demand attention and reflection. As this sensitivity deepens, relationships begin to shift in significance. Interactions are no longer casual. They carry weight and meaning beyond the surface. You notice the energy and intentions behind words and actions, understanding the subtle currents that connect lives. There is an instinctive awareness of when presence, compassion, or support is needed, and the desire to act from a place of authenticity grows. Emotional experiences become mirrors, reflecting not only the outer world, but also the inner state of the soul, urging recognition, healing, and alignment. Moments of silence, stillness, or reflection carry profound resonance, offering insights that transcend logic. It is in these moments that intuition and feeling merge, creating a powerful channel for guidance and understanding. The heart becomes a compass, helping to navigate the complexities of life with grace, discernment, and clarity. Heightened emotional sensitivity also brings a sense of awe and wonder at existence itself. The world feels alive with connection and purpose, each experience resonating with significance. Emotions that once felt overwhelming now serve as tools for perception and growth. Tears and laughter alike become expressions of alignment with life's deeper rhythm. You recognize that the intensity of feeling is a sign of receptivity, an indication that you are opening to experiences that will transform perception, deepen empathy, and prepare you for a profound encounter. This period teaches that vulnerability is not a limitation, but a strength, a bridge between understanding oneself and connecting with the greater currents of life. By embracing emotional sensitivity, the heart becomes receptive to insight, the mind clearer in discernment, and the spirit steadied for the extraordinary moments ahead. In this openness, every emotion is purposeful, every feeling meaningful, and every experience a step toward awakening, preparation, and alignment with the profound journey approaching. At this point in life, there is a sudden shift in perception that is difficult to ignore. Decisions that once felt uncertain now carry clarity, and a quiet voice within begins to guide with precision. This is the emergence of intuition, a knowing that is not learned, reasoned, or argued, but felt deeply in the core of being. It comes as subtle nudges, flashes of insight, or a sense of certainty that seems to bypass the mind entirely. You notice that choices, paths, and opportunities align in ways that feel preordained, even when logic cannot explain why. This inner knowing is like a compass, directing attention and action toward what is most aligned with purpose. You start to trust feelings over doubts, instincts over hesitation, and guidance over uncertainty. It is a profound reminder that life communicates in ways that transcend words, that there is wisdom residing quietly inside, and that readiness involves learning to listen, discern, and follow that voice without fear or resistance. As intuition strengthens, moments of clarity arrive unexpectedly, often in the quietest or most unassuming circumstances. A decision that once seemed complex becomes obvious. A path that was unclear now unfolds naturally. Synchronicities, signs, and coincidences begin to appear with regularity, each reinforcing the understanding that your life is moving toward a pivotal encounter. The inner knowing is accompanied by confidence, not arrogance, but a steady certainty that guides thought, word, and action. It encourages reflection and discernment while fostering a sense of calm amid uncertainty. This awareness helps filter distractions, identify alignment, and recognize opportunities that serve the deeper journey. Intuition becomes both a lens and a safeguard, allowing one to perceive subtleties and make choices that resonate with the unfolding purpose of life. This period also invites quiet surrender to the wisdom within. You learn that answers do not always appear immediately, but the capacity to trust what is sensed is essential. Even when doubt arises, the inner knowing remains a subtle anchor, a presence that reassures and directs without force. Dreams, reflections, and fleeting impressions take on new significance, providing hints of what is ahead and reinforcing preparedness. You become attuned to patterns and signals that were previously overlooked, understanding that insight is not simply external but originates from within. It is a merging of awareness, reflection, and trust, where the mind, heart, and spirit align to receive guidance effortlessly. By following this intuition, you begin to navigate life with a deeper sense of certainty and readiness, aware that the extraordinary encounter approaching is not accidental, but the culmination of alignment, awareness, and the inner knowing that has been quietly guiding every step of your journey toward this transformative moment. There is a moment when life begins to feel larger than itself, when every experience, thought, and action seems to point toward something extraordinary. You sense that the world around you is more than what it appears, and ordinary concerns begin to lose their weight. A feeling of transcendence emerges, a quiet recognition that you are approaching a threshold beyond everyday understanding. It is as if life is preparing you for an awakening, a meeting that will shift perception, deepen understanding, and expand awareness. In this space, you notice a subtle detachment from trivial distractions, a natural focus on what truly matters. The mind, heart, and spirit start to align, and you feel a readiness that cannot be forced. Every moment of reflection, every choice made with awareness, and every act of patience or faith contributes to preparation. Life no longer feels fragmented. It begins to reveal a sense of unity, purpose, and direction, as though the path you are on has been designed with intention and precision. In this phase, ordinary experiences begin to resonate with extraordinary meaning. Conversations, encounters, and even solitude carry significance beyond immediate understanding. You become sensitive to the energies around you, recognizing opportunities, guidance, and signs that are subtle yet unmistakable. This heightened perception is part of the preparation, a way of attuning yourself to the depth and magnitude of the moment approaching. Simultaneously, there is a sense of humility in recognizing that what is ahead is far greater than personal ambition or achievement. Preparation is not about control, but alignment, about readying the heart, mind, and spirit to receive insight, transformation, and clarity. In these moments, anticipation is tempered with patience, and excitement is balanced with stillness, creating a space where readiness naturally grows. You begin to understand that transcendence is not an event to chase, but a state to enter, cultivated through awareness, reflection, and attentiveness to the currents that guide life.